Is the Unitary Executive Theory constitutional? Have you ever wondered how much power the President of the United States really has over the executive branch? The Unitary Executive Theory is a key concept that dives into this question. This theory argues that the President holds complete authority over the executive branch. Supporters, especially among conservative and Republican thinkers, believe that the Constitution gives all executive power to one person, the President. They argue that Congress cannot limit this power by creating divisions within the executive branch. The foundation of this theory lies in Article 2, Section 1 of the Constitution. It states, "The executive power shall be vested in a President of the United States of America." Proponents interpret this as clear evidence that the President is the sole leader of the executive branch. They believe that all executive officers must ultimately report to the President. One practical aspect of the Unitary Executive Theory is the President's ability to remove officials from the executive branch. Supporters argue that the President should be able to fire any subordinate officer without needing to provide a reason. This power is seen as essential for maintaining accountability and unity within the executive branch. It allows the President to enforce laws effectively. Supreme Court cases have influenced the discussion around this theory. In the case of Myers v. United States from 1926, the court supported the idea that the President has broad powers to remove executive officers. However, in the case of Humphrey's Executor v. United States from 1935, the court ruled that Congress can protect certain agency heads from being removed unless there is a valid reason. More recently, in Collins v. Yellen from 2021, the Supreme Court has leaned towards reinforcing the President's removal power, especially for top officials. From a conservative perspective, the Unitary Executive Theory aligns with the idea of constitutional originalism. This means interpreting the Constitution based on its original meaning. Supporters argue that limiting Congress's interference in the executive branch helps maintain the separation of powers. They see this theory as a way to prevent government fragmentation and ensure the President can execute laws efficiently. Critics, however, raise concerns that this theory may grant too much power to the President. They argue that it risks undermining the checks and balances that are crucial for a functioning government. They often reference the Humphrey's Executor case as an important limit on presidential authority, particularly for agencies that requiring independence. In summary, the Unitary Executive Theory is based on a specific interpretation of the Constitution. For many conservatives and Republicans, it is viewed as constitutional and necessary for maintaining limited government and accountability in the executive branch. While Supreme Court decisions support this view in some areas, the debate continues on its implications for presidential power and government structure.